You know, I've read the Bible through many times, but every time you go back through it, more interesting things pop out. In Job chapter 10, Job says in verse number 10, "Hast thou not poured me out as milk and curdled me like cheese?" What a way to describe what he was going through at that time. He said, "I feel like curdled cheese. I feel like spilt milk. I feel like my life is on hold and it's actually going backwards. It's becoming spoiled rather than getting better. The things that I knew before, now I don't know anything." He lost his kids, he lost his wealth, he'd lost his health, he was in pain. His friends and him were trying to figure out who's to blame, what's going on, why is this happening? And he says, "I feel like spilt milk and curdled cheese." I don't know if you ever felt like that, but you probably been through a situation where you felt terrible. But God knows where you're at, so hang on. Hi, I'm Craig Fritchley, pastor of Calvary Apostolic Tabernacle in Iola, and I'm so glad you joined us today because God was there all the time with Job. Even though he felt awful, he didn't know why this was going on, God was with him. When you look out here in the preserve where these cattails are all broke off, it looks terrible. It's like there's nothing going on here. But you know what's underneath all this? It's wildlife. Just saw a muskrat here a little bit ago. Birds have been flying. There's all types of insects. And of course the snakes are coming out. They're all out here in something that looks so terrible, yet there's such life and such beauty. And it won't be too many more weeks that the new cattails will be growing up and this will be all looking nice with green vegetation. But right now it looks terrible. And sometimes our life gets to that place where people can't recognize it. You know, when you go through a construction project, there's the mess of the construction. And if you look in the middle of the project, you say, "This is awful. Why did we do this? Things are out of order. There's chaos. There's dust. There's dirt. All these kind of things are happening." But there's a process going on to make us better, to make us more like Him. And God does allow us to go through fiery trials. God does send us through tests. Those tests try us and help us. They purify us. They mold us. They mature us so that we can become more like Him and more useful in His kingdom. And sometimes when you just take a snapshot of that moment, you think, my life is a mess. No, it's not a mess. It's blessed of God, and God is working a process to help you to go from where you are to where He wants you to be. So when you feel poured and you feel curdled, you feel like it's hopeless and everything's a mess, just remember, God knows where you're at, God's in control, and He's working a process. So let that process work. If you're doing the wrong things, you've got to change that. But if you're doing what you can and doing the right things, and there's just things happening around, just hang on. It's just a trial. This is just a test. And when the test is over, you'll come out on the other side like pure gold. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you on the next devotional.